Welcome, seekers of wonder, to the shadowed vales of the East, where stories are not mere words, but living breaths of magic and mystery. Tonight, as the constellations wheel above like silent witnesses, we embark on an extended journey through one of the crown jewels of 1001 Nights, the epic of Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp. Imagine yourself reclining on silken cushions in a tent pitched amid the endless Arabian sands, the air thick with the scent of jasmine and incense, the night alive with the crackle of flames and the distant howl of jackals. This tale, born from the lips of Scheherazade to soothe the vengeful king, is a symphony of rags to riches, betrayal to triumph, and the eternal dance between fate and free will. We'll linger in its depths for about 30 minutes, unfolding every layer of enchantment, every heartbeat of suspense, to immerse you fully in its world. Let the sands part and the story begin.
In the heart of a vast and ancient city in China, though its soul whispers of Baghdad's labyrinthine alleys and Persia's golden domes, lived a humble tailor named Mustafa. His days were a monotonous thread of needle and cloth, stitching robes for merchants while his own family scraped by on crumbs. Mustafa's greatest sorrow was his son, Aladdin, a boy of 15 with a spirit as wild as the desert winds. Aladdin shunned the tailor's bench, preferring the thrill of street games, dodging through crowded bazaars where spices painted the air in hues of cinnamon and saffron, haggling with vendors under canopies of fluttering silks, and dreaming of adventures beyond the mud-brick walls that hemmed in his world. Picture the scene, the sun blazing like a forge overhead, casting long shadows across cobblestone streets, alive with the clamor of donkeys braying, children laughing, and hawkers crying their wares, fresh dates, silken scarves from the East. Aladdin's eyes sparkled with mischief, his heart unburdened by responsibility, but his father's pleas fell on deaf ears. "Learn a trade, my son," Mustafa would beg, his voice heavy with weariness. Yet Aladdin slipped away like smoke, leaving his father to toil alone until grief and exhaustion claimed Mustafa's life. Now orphaned in all but name, Aladdin and his widowed mother eked out an existence spinning cotton by lamplight, their home a dim hovel where hunger gnawed like a persistent shadow. But fate, that capricious weaver, had other designs. One sweltering afternoon, as Aladdin lounged by a fountain with his ragtag friends, splashing water and trading tall tales, a stranger appeared. Tall and imposing, with eyes like smoldering embers and robes flowing like midnight rivers, this man from the distant Maghreb scanned the crowd until his gaze locked on Aladdin. "My boy," the stranger said, his voice a silken snare laced with false warmth, "you are the spitting image of my dear brother Mustafa." Aladdin blinked in confusion, but the man embraced him like lost kin, tears glistening artfully. "I am your uncle, returned from years of wandering the world's edges. Come, let me lift you from this drudgery." He pressed a purse of gold into Aladdin's hands, the coins clinking like promises of fortune. Overwhelmed, Aladdin raced home, spilling the tale to his mother, who, though doubtful, welcomed the uncle the next day with wary hospitality. The sorcerer, for that is what he truly was, a master of dark arts and forbidden knowledge, feasted them with exotic delicacies, honeyed pastries, roasted lamb scented with rosemary, and wines that sparkled like captured stars. He spun yarns of far-off lands, of oceans teeming with leviathans, and mountains hiding treasures, all while his mind fixated on a prophecy, Only a boy named Aladdin could retrieve a magical lamp from a hidden cave, a lamp that commanded boundless power. "Tomorrow," he declared, "I will clothe you in finery and teach you the ways of merchants." Dawn painted the sky in rose and gold as they ventured beyond the city gates, through lush gardens where peacocks strutted and fountains murmured secrets, until they reached a barren valley ringed by jagged hills. The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen energy that prickled the skin. The sorcerer gathered strange herbs, kindling a fire that belched acrid smoke, and chanted incantations in a tongue older than time, words that twisted the air like heat mirages. The ground shuddered, splitting to reveal a massive stone slab lifting aside, exposing a staircase descending into abysmal darkness. "Descend, nephew!" the sorcerer commanded, slipping an enchanted ring onto Aladdin's finger, for protection. "Touch nothing but the lamp at the cavern's heart. Bring it to me, and untold riches await." Aladdin's pulse thundered with a mix of fear and excitement as he stepped down, the steps cold and echoing underfoot. The air turned chill, laced with the musty scent of eternity, and torchlight from his hand danced on walls encrusted with jewels, emeralds winking like hidden eyes, sapphires pooling like midnight lakes. Deeper he went, through chambers of wonders, artificial gardens where trees bore fruits of pure gold and silver, leaves rustling in an unfelt breeze, evoking a surreal paradise that stirred awe and greed in equal measure. Birds of crystal sang mechanical songs, and rivers of mercury flowed silently. Temptation clawed at him. "Just one fruit," whispered his inner voice, but he resisted, pressing on. To the innermost sanctum, there on a pedestal bathed in ethereal glow, hung a simple brass lamp, tarnished by ages. Seizing it, Aladdin turned back, but the earth rebelled. Rocks tumbled, the path sealed with a deafening boom. "Uncle, help!" he cried, but the sorcerer's voice echoed cruelly. "The lamp first, fool!" Refusing, Aladdin was abandoned to the void. Despair enveloped him like a shroud, tears stinging as he wrung his hands, and accidentally rubbed the ring. A vortex of smoke erupted, coalescing into a genie of the ring, a formidable spirit with skin like burnished copper, eyes blazing like furnaces, and its presence filling the cave with a humming power. "I am the slave of the ring," it boomed, voice resonating like distant thunder. "Command me, master." Trembling, Aladdin gasped, "Deliver me from this tomb!" In a whirlwind of force, the genie shattered the barriers, hurling Aladdin to the surface under the open sky. The sorcerer had fled, but Aladdin clutched the lamp, pockets heavy with pilfered jewel fruits that gleamed as real gems in the sunlight. Homeward he staggered, collapsing into his mother's arms with tales too wild to believe. "A mad dream," she scoffed, but hunger prompted her to polish the lamp for sale. As cloth met brass, smoke billowed like a storm cloud, and a colossal genie materialized, towering like a colossus, muscles rippling like forged iron, and its aura crackling with arcane energy. "I am the slave of the lamp," it declared, bowing with earth-shaking deference. "Thy wishes are my chains. Command, and it shall be." Terror gave way to elation as they tested its power. Feasts materialized from air, platters of succulent meats, fruits bursting with nectar, breads warm and fragrant. Aladdin sold the silver dishes for gold, transforming their hovel into a haven of comfort. Weeks blurred into prosperity, but love soon ignited a greater ambition. From his rooftop, Aladdin spied Princess Badrul Badur in the royal baths, a vision of grace, her ebony hair cascading like nightfall, her laughter tinkling like crystal chimes, her eyes deep pools of mystery that pierced his soul. Enraptured, he confessed to his mother, "She must be mine." Scoffing at first, she relented, carrying a bowl of the cave's gems to the Sultan as a suitor's gift. The court gasped at the treasure, rubies like blood drops, diamonds scattering rainbows. The Sultan, eyes gleaming with avarice, promised the princess if Aladdin proved worthy. That night, the lamp's genie wrought miracles. A palace of marble veined with gold rose opposite the Sultan's, its domes piercing the heavens, gardens blooming with eternal flowers, fountains singing melodies of paradise. Inside, halls echoed with opulence, tapestries woven by invisible hands, thrones cushioned in velvet. The wedding was a spectacle. Processions of elephants draped in jewels, dancers swirling in veils of flame-colored silks, fireworks exploding in symphonies of light. Aladdin and Badr exchanged vows under canopies of stars, their union a blend of passion and destiny. Bliss followed, with the genie ensuring endless delights, exotic banquets, moonlit rides on winged steeds conjured from dreams. Yet shadows crept in. Far in the Maghreb, the sorcerer divined the lamp's activation through his scrying orb, a crystal pulsing with forbidden visions. Rage contorted his features. The boy has stolen my prize. Disguised as a humble lamp trader, he infiltrated the city, his cart laden with shiny baubles, crying, "New lamps for old! Exchange your tarnished relics for gleaming wonders." With Aladdin away hunting, the princess, innocent of the lamp's secret, traded it away.
In that fateful instant, the sorcerer summoned the genie. "Transport this palace and the princess to my domain in Africa." The world spun in chaos. Winds howled like vengeful spirits. The palace lifted on invisible currents, vanishing across horizons to a desolate fortress amid thorn-choked mountains. Aladdin returned to devastation, a barren crater where his palace once stood, the air still humming with residual magic. Grief crashed over him like a tidal wave. "My love! My home!" driving him to the brink of madness. Wandering the wilderness in torment, he remembered the ring. Rubbing it furiously, the lesser genie appeared in a swirl of azure mist. "Master, I cannot undo the lamp's deeds, but I can bear you to your beloved." Across vast oceans and scorching deserts they flew, the winds whipping Aladdin's robes as landscapes blurred below, emerald jungles giving way to jagged peaks. He arrived at the sorcerer's grim tower, a monolithic spire of black stone wreathed in perpetual storms, thunder rumbling like the god's wrath. Sneaking through shadowed corridors alive with the echo of dripping water and the sorcerer's maniacal laughter, Aladdin found Badr in a gilded chamber, her beauty undimmed but her eyes swollen with tears. "My heart," he whispered, embracing her amid the scent of captive roses. "We must outwit this demon." She revealed the sorcerer's nightly feasts, his boasts of conquest. Together they schemed. Badr feigned submission, plying the villain with wine laced with a potent sleeping draught from Aladdin's pouch. As the sorcerer drank deeply, his eyelids drooped, and he slumped into oblivion, dreams of power turning to snores. Aladdin burst forth, seizing the lamp from its pedestal. "Arise, slave of the lamp!" The genie erupted in a maelstrom of fire and smoke, its colossal form filling the hall, eyes like molten gold. "Command me," Aladdin roared. "Slay this traitor and return us home." The genie, bound by ancient laws, could not kill, but bound the sorcerer in eternal chains, hurling him into a bottomless abyss where screams echoed forever. Then, with a cosmic upheaval, the palace soared back, crossing skies in a blaze of light, landing gracefully before the sultan's gaze. Reunion brought ecstasy, but peril lingered. The sorcerer's brother, a darker warlock, steeped in viler magics, learned of the defeat through omens, ravens croaking prophecies, mirrors cracking with visions of vengeance. Disguising himself as Fatima, a revered holy woman known for miracles, he entered the city, healing the afflicted with illusory spells that masked his malice. Word of her piety reached the palace. Badrolbadur, seeking blessings for their future, invited her. The impostor, voice modulated to a pious croon, admired the palace's splendor, but slyly suggested a roc's egg suspended from the central dome would crown its perfection, a symbol of divine favor. Intrigued, the princess urged Aladdin to fulfill it. Summoning the genie, Aladdin demanded the egg, but the spirit quaked with fury. "Insolent master, the rock is my ancient foe, yet this whisper comes from evil. The holy woman is your enemy's kin, cloaked in deceit." Aladdin's blood ran cold. Racing to the chamber, he feigned illness. "O Fatima, lay hands upon my brow and heal me." As the sorcerer approached, hand extended with hidden poison, Aladdin struck like lightning, dagger flashing in the lamplight, piercing the disguise. The villain crumpled, body dissolving into foul smoke, his curses fading into nothingness. The threat extinguished, peace descended like a gentle rain.
And so, with foes scattered like dust in the wind, Aladdin and Badrulbadur ascended to the throne upon the Sultan's passing, ruling with justice tempered by mercy. Their palace became a beacon of prosperity, where the lamp's power was wielded not for selfish gain, but for the good of all. Famines banished, orphans sheltered, wisdom shared like flowing rivers. Aladdin, once a wayward youth, had blossomed into a paragon of virtue, his journey a testament to the human spirit's capacity for growth amid trials. In the quiet depths of this tale, we find echoes of our own lives, the hidden potentials waiting in ordinary objects, the perils of unchecked ambition, and the redemptive force of love and cunning. From the bustling streets of ancient cities to the ethereal realms of genies, 1001 Nights reminds us that fate is a tapestry we co-weave, thread by thread, with courage and heart. If this epic has stirred the sands of your imagination, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. What hidden lamp might change your destiny? Join me next time for more nocturnal mysteries from the East. Until then, may your nights be filled with dreams as boundless as the desert stars. Good night.